In this video, you will learn about selection statements. A C++ program is made up of multiple statements. Each statement is an instruction written by the programmer to perform some kind of operation. Statements are terminated by a semicolon. There could be a print statement in your program such as cout hello world, or a declaration statement where we are declaring an integer a and also initializing it at the same time. There could also be an arithmetic operation statement such as sum equal to num1 plus num2, or we could have an input statement. All of these are terminated by a semicolon. By compound statement, we mean that multiple statements are grouped together within curly braces. It is also called as a block of statements. For example, let's suppose we have two integers, say x equal to 10 and y equal to 20, and we try to add them together and store their result in some third variable, say z, and then print that z and store these statements within a pair of curly braces, then this forms a block or a compound statement. In a simple C++ program, statements execute one after the other, and this type of execution of statements is called as sequential execution. But sometimes it is also possible that some statements in the program need to be repeated, or maybe their execution depend on some condition. For this purpose, C++ provides control statements. These are called control statements because they control or govern the flow of execution in a program. In C++, there are three main categories of control statements. These are called as selection statements, which are also used for making decisions in a program and are further classified into if statement and switch statement. Then we have iteration statements or loops, which are further classified into for, while and do while loop, and these are used for repetition of certain statements in a program. Finally, we have jump statements, which are used to break the normal flow of execution of the program and are further categorized into break, continue, and go to. In the coming slides, we will be studying them all. Now let's talk about selection statements. As mentioned earlier, these determine which block to execute based on a specified condition, and that is the reason that these are also called as decision-making statements or conditional statements. These are extremely useful as there are many instances where we have to make certain decisions within the program and execute the statements accordingly. Decision-making statements or selection statements are further classified into if statement, if-else statement, if-elseif else statements, and switch case statements. The if statement is the simplest form of decision making or selection statements. The syntax of an if statement is like this. First we mention the keyword if in small letters, followed by the condition, which if holds true, then the statement within the curly braces will be executed. Otherwise nothing happens. The if-else statement is a slightly modified version of the simple if statement. Here the syntax is like this. If the condition mentioned in the first line is true, then the statement 1 in the if block will be executed. Otherwise, statement 2 mentioned under else will be executed. In this program, we will check whether the entered integer value is a positive or a negative integer. So for that, I need to take one random variable, let's say number, and I will ask the user to enter any integer value. After that, I will take the input as cin number. Now I am going to use if. So basically, positive numbers are those which are greater than 0, and any value which is less than 0 is considered as negative. So that means we need to make use of relational operator here. So if my number is greater than 0, so as you can see, if is the keyword, that is why it is in bold letters, and along with if in the round brackets I have to mention the condition here. So my condition is that number should be greater than 0 in order for it to be a positive number. So if number is greater than 0, then in the curly brackets I will print that it is a positive number, and semicolon will be placed after the double quotation mark. If you want to end the program here, you can do so, but I also want to include one statement for negative number. So I will write here else, which is a keyword again, and cout /n, it is a negative number. Cout is done, and then I will type return 0, and let's save the program. Save as even, odd, and I will execute it. The program is now executing, and you can see it is asking me to enter any integer value. Let's say I am entering 9178, which is an integer value, so it is a negative number. The if, elseif, else statements are just like if-else statements, but these exist so that programmers can include multiple conditions in the program and execute the statement corresponding to whichever condition holds true. The nested if statements are useful when we want to place one condition inside the other. As shown in the syntax, if condition 1 is true, then statement 1 will execute, and inside this block condition 2 has been placed, which if holds true, then statement 2 will be executed. Otherwise, the cursor will come out of this if block. The switch case statement is an alternate version of the if, elseif, else statement. Here, first the expression mentioned along with keyword switch is evaluated. Whatever the resulting value comes out to be is matched against all the case values. Suppose it matches with value 1, then in that case group of statements 1 will be executed. The break statement will make the cursor come out of the switch block. If the match is not found in value 1, then value 2 will be matched against the resulting value. And this keeps on repeating until a corresponding match is found. If no match is found, then the body of default will be executed, and after that the cursor will come out of the switch block. In this program, I will show you how to use switch case statement to find which day of the week it is. So let me take one integer variable. Let's say I will call it as weekday, because whatever number user enters, corresponding day name will be displayed. So I will first ask the user to enter the day number, and whatever value user enters will get stored in my variable weekday. Now I am going to make use of switch case statement, and along with switch in the round brackets I will have to mention my variable. Now there are multiple choices because there are 7 days in a week, so I will create 7 different cases. Case 1 is for Monday, and after that I will have to enter break. Break has been inserted here because if suppose user enters 1, then Monday will be displayed on the screen, and there is no need for me to match it against all the other cases. So break will make the cursor come out of the switch statement, and this will save our time. And in case the case 1 is not the correct match, then the cursor will go to the second case, which is Tuesday. If that is also not the match, then cursor will go to the third case, and so on until either a match is found, or if no match is found, then in that case default statements will be executed. This is for Wednesday. Again I type break case 4 cout, and here I type Thursday, then break, let's say case 5, it is for /n Friday, after that break, and suppose user types 6 or 7 or any other value, then it is a weekend. /n, it is weekend, and that is it. My switch case statement is over. Then type return 0. My program has already been named, so I'm just going to save it and execute. So I have to type the day number. Let's suppose I type 5, so it is Friday. Let's again execute it, and let me close it. Execute, compile and run. Suppose I type here 7 because it was not in any of the cases, so it is weekend. Alright, see you in the next video.